Have you ever wondered when it's time to move from a warehouse into a retail store? Or better yet, if it's really ever time to do so? This is one of the most common questions I get from furniture business owners all the time. And honestly, I think most people are asking the wrong questions. The question isn't, can I afford a retail space? The question is, where is my next dollar best spent? Because when you think about it that way, a retail store isn't really real estate, it's marketing. Once you understand that, the decision becomes much easier. Hi, my name is Grant, and if you don't know me, I own a company called 7-Figure Furniture. We are a marketing and consulting business designed specifically for furniture businesses. We help furniture businesses grow their revenue through paid ads and consulting. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out the link in the description below after the video. But stay tuned because this is going to be a really good video on a question that we get all the time. So let's get into it. Imagine you're currently operating out of a warehouse. Your warehouse costs $3,000 per month. You're spending another $3,000 per month on marketing. Business is going well overall. Now a retail space becomes available. It's in a decent location. It looks more professional. Customers can walk in, and the rent is going to cost you an additional $1,500 per month. Most people immediately start thinking about the store itself, but I personally think you should look at it differently. That extra $1,500 isn't really rent, it's a marketing budget. Because what are you actually buying? You're buying exposure. You're paying for people to see your business. You're paying for visibility, you're paying for walk-in traffic, you're paying for the chance that someone driving by sees your signs and eventually becomes a customer. In other words, you're purchasing customers. The exact same thing your advertising budget is supposed to do. So the real question becomes, would you rather spend that $1,500 on a retail location or spend it on advertising? And hey, before I continue, I just want to say that there's not a right or wrong answer here. I think it truly depends on the type of business you are. My main point here is how to frame the thinking in a different way. Let's look at an example. Suppose your marketing is working really well. Maybe you're generating customers for $100 each. An extra $1,500 per month could potentially generate another 15 customers. If those numbers are realistic for your business, then it might be difficult to justify moving into a retail location. The reason is because the advertising is already producing customers at a predictable cost. Why add more overhead? Why sign a lease? Why add more complexity? You already have a machine that's working, just scale that. In that situation, putting more money into marketing may actually be the better decision. Now let's look at the opposite scenario. Maybe your marketing isn't performing very well. Maybe you're struggling to create content consistently. Maybe you're in a strong retail area where people are already shopping for furniture. Maybe you know your products sell extremely well when customers can touch them, sit on them, and experience them in person. In that case, a retail location might become your highest performing marketing channel. The storefront itself becomes an advertisement, your signage becomes an advertisement, your location becomes an advertisement, the walk-in traffic becomes a main lead source. And now that extra $1,500 a month could potentially generate more customers than the advertising would. This is why I don't think that there's a universal answer. I've seen warehouse operations doing millions of dollars per year, and I've seen retail stores struggle despite having beautiful showrooms. The building itself isn't the answer, it's about customer acquisition. There's also another factor that most people overlook, which is flexibility. Let's say you decide to increase your ad budget by $1,500 per month. What happens if it doesn't work? You lower it, you turn it off, you make adjustments, you test something else. You're flexible. Now compare that to signing a lease. Once you sign that lease, you're committed. The rent is due whether sales are up or down. The rent is due whether you're having your best month or your worst month. The rent is due during slow seasons. The rent is due during recessions. The rent is due if Facebook changes its algorithm tomorrow. A retail space creates fixed costs. Advertising creates variable costs. That is a huge difference to keep in mind. Another thing to honestly consider is lifestyle. A lot of warehouse operators enjoy the freedom that comes with the model. Limited hours, appointment-only visits, lower overhead, less staffing, less management. A retail space often changes all of that. Now customers expect regular hours. Now someone needs to be there. Now there are additional operational responsibilities. So don't just ask whether the retail store will generate more revenue. Ask whether it creates a business you actually want to run. Because those are two different questions. Now, with all that being said, there are situations where I absolutely think retail makes a lot of sense. The first is when you've already proven your marketing, you're consistently generating sales, you've built cash reserves, your current marketing channels are being pushed to their ceilings, and the retail location becomes an expansion rather than a rescue plan. That's the important part. A showroom should amplify a successful business. It shouldn't be a desperate attempt to fix an unsuccessful one. The second is when the location itself has genuine marketing value. Not every retail space is equal. Some locations have incredible visibility, others are basically expensive warehouses with windows. If you're going to pay for exposure, make sure you're actually getting exposure. And third, when your products benefit heavily from an in-person experience. Furniture is one of those categories where customers often want to sit on it, touch it, compare fabrics, and see colors in person. For certain retailers, that can make a huge difference. So when, if ever, should you move from a warehouse into a retail store? Here's my answer. Stop thinking about it as a real estate decision and start thinking about it as a marketing decision. If that additional money can produce more customers through advertising, keep investing in advertising. If that money can produce more customers through visibility, walk-ins, and a better shopping experience, then the retail location may make sense. There isn't a right answer, there isn't a wrong answer, there's only one question: where will your next dollar generate the highest return? Answer that question honestly, and the warehouse versus retail decision becomes much easier. If you're a furniture retailer trying to figure out how to acquire more customers, whether you're operating from a warehouse, a retail store, or somewhere in between, subscribe to the channel. We talk about marketing, customer acquisition, and growing furniture businesses all the time. And if you want to learn about what our company does to help furniture businesses and how we've been an integral part in helping several clients reach that seven-figure level, visit our website at sevenfigurefurniture.com. It's worth noting we also work with companies who are already doing multiple seven figures, and we help them scale to new heights. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.